Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to a brand new episode of To Whom It May Concern, Her Professionals. I am your hostess with the mostest, AP, and I'm very excited to be back to sharing with you all your professional and personal life as we navigate through the fields of both and how they mesh and how they separate. So there was a hiatus for the month of September. Y'all, honestly, I just didn't have anything to say. And it may not, I really didn't have anything to say because I wasn't really talking on social media like that, not under the podcast moniker, which is not good because I know that consistency is the key. However, I don't like small talk. And if I don't have anything to say, I just don't have anything to say. But I'm back and I'm happy to be back and I'm happy to share some conversation with you all, and hopefully it is something interesting enough that you will tune in long enough to see it through to the end. This episode is going to be more so on the personal mixing with the professional and just how the two can be parallel on this particular subject matter, because it's something that I've had an aha moment. See, I was using the brain. I was getting ideas in the hiatus. I just want to let that be known. And this is something that I've come to a conclusion here just recently in September in all these years. And here I am to get to my 30s to now start gaining some wisdom. My God, my glory. But check it. Here's the scenario. Here's the subject. So you know how it is when you're employed and you're looking for new employment. It tends to be easier for you to come across the type of employment that you're looking for when you're like very intentional and specific about what you're searching for, be it salary, benefits, flexibility, the level or the field that you want to be in, or the location that you want to be in. As opposed to when you're unemployed and you're looking for those same things, it can just be quite difficult to get what you want. And I've spoken about that with some of my friends, some of my coworkers, and I am convinced that it's a certain air that we hold on us when we are employed and when we're unemployed. When we are employed, it's kind of like, unless you're in a situation, you're in a dire situation in your current employment where you're like, F this, I got to get up out of here by any means necessary. I hate this place, because that too comes with a certain air. And when you're unemployed, it's like, bills, you're stressing, especially if you don't necessarily have a nest egg to last you past the first month, because bills are real. We are enduring an inflation. It doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. Like, child. And another topic for another time. But you get what I'm saying. The stress is there when you're unemployed and you're running low on what finances that you do have, and you really want to be able to secure new employment before you're just completely depleted and you're out here looking crazy. Like, it is so hard to come out of a hole. Baby, it's easy to dig one, but baby, it is so hard to come up out that thing. So I feel like there's an air of desperation on us when we're unemployed, and people can sense that, especially like if you're calling constantly to check up, stopping by to see what's going on, you want to speak to the manager, like, you know what I'm saying? You feel like you're doing everything within your power to show that you're interested and that you want to work, when really it can come across as the desperate, needy individual who no one else can take, and it's kind of like, well, why do we want, why do we want this person? As opposed to when you're employed and you have that steady income coming in. So it's more so of a thing of, how much notice do I want to give my current employer before I move on to the new employer, right? You have more of a game plan where you're focusing on, let me, dot every I, cross every T, because I know that what I'm looking for is going to come to me. So let me make sure that all my ducks are in a row, so that whomever comes behind me or whoever has taken on my load, once I step away, it's clear, it's concise, they can see what I'm doing, it's easy to follow, right? Right. I also have learned that that's the same type of mindset that comes over into the dating world. Because let me just say this, even when you're unemployed, you still have certain standards. And when you're confident in your craft, in your experience, and what you know you bring to the table, things can flow easier for you. You get more callbacks. You get further along in the process of interviewing. And 9 times out of 10, whatever job it is that you want, you're going to get, as opposed to when you're somebody who, I just need a job, right? I just need a job, my bills, my bills, my bills, my bills. Sometimes when your bills are your motivating factor, it can be a crutch, because you can land in some situations where once you're in there and you get a paycheck, but it's not fulfilling, right? It doesn't stimulate you seriously, and you're surrounded by persons who may not be on your same professional level. Like, it is what it is, because you have some people who really care about their craft, who really care about their reputation and their brand. And you got some people that are like, whatever, it's a job, right? So it's also important for you to be intentional about the type of environment that you're walking into, and what are the values, what are the missions, like how do people interact and engage, how do they treat people who have families, people who don't have families, right? Like how do they treat the quality of time, that when it's after clock out time, are they calling, you know what I mean? Are they calling me? Are they bugging me? Are they respecting my time? Are they respecting my person? Those are things to think about. I feel like it's the same way when dating. When you put off this air of desperation, like you need somebody. And this is what I mean about desperation. Being too available, right? Being too accommodating. Being too nice. When you start putting aside the things that you know that you absolutely want in a relationship, in a partner, in a companion, because you just want to have somebody there. And you can innately like somebody. You can like somebody, but then once you start to get to know them, it's like, I like them on a surface level, but really beyond that, there is no connection. This isn't someone that I would share my feelings with, my thoughts with, because maybe that person is just completely disconnected beyond things that don't pertain to them. Like when you're with them, your conversation is always about them and what they have going on. Never are they ever asking you like, hey, what's going on with you? And then listening for the answer, right? And it can be the same thing in your professional life when you're working in environments, which may be why when you're employed, you want to move on somewhere else, because who you are is not respected in the workplace, and what you bring is undervalued, although the things that are happening are because of your hard work and your strategy and your thoughtfulness. But rarely are you ever just given acknowledgement or recognition on those things. And some people are completely fine with words of affirmation. And then there are those of us who are even happier if you add on with those words of affirmations, or you can keep that and just monetarily show me your appreciation for the work that I do and the value that I bring to the team. It's the same exact way. And it's not to say that when you're in a relationship, it's easier to find another one, but it's just more so about the energy that you're putting off. When you are concise, when you are clear in the value of self and what you bring to the table and what you will accept and what you won't accept. And when I say that in terms of what you want for yourself. And just because you and that person who you think, oh my God, I just have to have this person. But if you're honest with yourself, if this person never changed their attitude towards you, where they're not calling you consistently, they're just not consistent with you, period. And if the only time that y'all get to spend with each other is just for some type of sexual rendezvous, if it's consensual and that's all that you both want, cool. But if you know that you're wanting something more, then why would you be looking for that in someone who is inconsistent and also non-dependable? Like, they're not a safe space for your feelings. They're not a safe space for the love that at this point in time you're ready to give to someone else. And I know that this particular topic seemed like, how is this professional? How is this about being a hood professional? Well, it's about being a hood professional because sometimes you be taking this ish to work, this energy to work, and you're talking about it with your coworkers because when you have a good group of coworkers, you are able to talk about your personal lives and be able to, bounce ideas and different things off of them, because these are the people that you spend a lot of time with. I keep saying this to y'all because it's true. We go on through the 90-day period with our coworkers of vetting them and seeing whether, who's the person that you can talk to and who are the people you like. It will always be professional with you or very cordial, like office banter. And then you have the ones who you know that you can have those deep, meaningful connections and conversations with. So I'm telling you, this came up because in September, my mindset was more so on really working on myself and valuing myself and loving myself up to a level where I am perfectly fine missing out on people and also professional things that just aren't for me. And even in being in a supervisor position, I still am not trying to run the show. Do you know that's one of the 48 laws of power? Never, rise above, the master or whatever. Because you never want that person, your superior or direct report, you never want to step on their toes. Because even people with the most go with the flow, laid back personalities and attitudes, they still want to be respected and don't want someone else to feel like, oh, so you think you running things. I get that you're a supervisor, but I'm still your director type of thing. And forgive me if you feel like I'm going on a tangent, but I'm just saying. In my position, I still have to value who I am. And while I may be a supervisor, I still have someone that I'm reporting to and giving direct reports and things of that nature to. But I also want to be valued and knowing that certain things and figuring out if where I am, do I want to continue progressing in that manner? And even if I don't quite know that that's what I want to do, still working in a way that if at some point I change my mind and say, yes, I want to go that route, I'm respected. I've put in the time, I've put in the effort, and I've shown how much I value not only myself, but the work that I present. And it has to be the same way in your personal life when it comes to dealing with other people, because they tell the tale of how you see and value yourself. And God rest his soul, Kevin Samuels, when he talks about high value men and women, you have to become that what you believe that you deserve. So I don't even necessarily think it's about being, being the perfect shape of your life. But if you're seeking someone who's in good health, who's in good shape, you yourself need to be that. Same thing when you're looking for a job. If you're looking for a job that is dependable, that is valuable, that is flexible, you yourself have to be that. Stop coming out so desperate in your professional and in your personal life. You're not desperate. You're in a situation where you're looking for a solution. And while you're looking for that solution, have some pride about yourself. Have some dignity about yourself. Love yourself through the situation. You are not your situation. This situation is just happening to you. So now is the time for you to show up as your best self, get it handled, and move on. These situations are the things that those interview questions are made for, in the professional and in the personal. In the personal. So why are you single? Why this time around are you looking for something serious? And you can answer that question because you've done the work for yourself to be able to arrive to that question and answer it without feeling any type of way, without feeling attacked. Same thing in the professional setting. Going through these situations will help you when they say, think of a time, don't you just love those questions? Think of a time when you were under a lot of stress, or think of a time when there was a situation that, or an issue. The questions that I'm talking about. So in those moments, this is the time to just strengthen you, right? To sharpen you. That metal reflection that you can see just what you're made of. And hopefully it gets easier. it gets easier to land that position and that career that you want. And it's not just a job. It's an actual career that you can grow and learn from and take away from. And hopefully it catapults you into something much bigger than what you originally thought. But you gotta lay off the desperation. And hopefully it is a relationship that can grow and develop into something that's long-term and loving and fulfilling. But you got to get rid of desperation and know that you deserve exactly what it is that you say that you want, exactly what it is that you pray for. And if you're speaking negatively about your situation or your person, then best believe that's what's going to come back to you. And I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know how long it's going to take. But every single thing that you go through to get closer to that which you are looking for is only to help you grow and develop and strengthen, so that when you arrive to that which is for you, you know how to handle it. And you're not like, I just can't believe. It's not about a matter of believing. It's about expecting and knowing that it was only a matter of time before you arrive. It's never about, oh, will it ever? It's always going to be, it's going to happen. It's just about, will I be ready to receive that which I've been asking for all this time, that I've been seeking for all this time. So again, that position, that career that you've been working for and dreaming of and wondering, does that position even exist? It does. It does exist, because either you have to create it, or you're going to walk into it, or someone's going to create it for you, because you're going to come in and show them the need for that position. And does that relationship, that person exist? They do. But you first have to be that which what you want. And you have to walk in confidence, men and women. There's no woe is me. And stop trying to tie yourself to be everything to everybody. Everybody that you come across is not the one. Okay? Everyone is not the one, and that's okay. And it's okay if you don't want to accumulate another friend of the opposite sex, because I just feel like there's just one more person that I have to tell, don't call once I do come across the person that's for me. But stop trying to be crafty when it comes to relationships. The right one is the right one, and that's just all it is to it. And I'm gonna climb down off my soapbox, but this is the lesson in today. It's just, I want you to love yourself through your situation, right? Because this is just a situation. This is just a season. This is a moment in your time that when you get through it, you will be able to look back on it and pull what you need to from it. Every experience is a valuable lesson that we are able to learn, and hopefully that we take to heart, so that when we come across different things, when we come across people and things and situations that spark or trigger certain things within us, we can recognize what that is and recognize where it stems from, and we can govern ourselves accordingly. You don't need to be desperate to find another job. You need to be specific. You need to be clear. You need to be concise. And you need to stick with that and know that what you deserve is what you deserve. And it's the same thing with your personal relationships, be it friendships, be it romantic, even be it with your family. You deserve what you seek. But you first have to become what it is you want. Be confident, be bold, be kind, be joyful, be loved, be blessed. As always, thank you for your time and being a listener. I so greatly appreciate it. You have no idea. And when this podcast takes off and kabooms and blows up into becoming something wonderful, I will never forget you. And each one of you, I will shout you out. I promise you I will. You've been riding with me from the beginning, and we're going to ride this thing on out to the end. Take care of your mental health. And remember, this is the podcast where we talk it out to work it out. Till next time.